Now look, you might be thinking the next 3 weeks or honestly the rest of July could end up being a make or break moment for superhero movies, and you wouldn't be wrong. The box office performance of Superman and Fantastic Four might just be the clearest indication of where superhero cinema stands right now. Is the so-called superhero fatigue legit, or are fans just waiting for the right stories to show up? But here's where things get really interesting, because before we got official reviews, things were already heating up. Over the last couple of weeks, there's been a bit of drama. Some critics who clearly had an agenda started dropping early reviews of Superman before they were even allowed to, and they weren't just negative. These reactions were downright brutal, and then almost like clockwork, the posts vanished. So the rest of us, we've been sitting tight, waiting for the real reactions, the kind that come from people we actually trust. And with last night's red carpet premiere, critic screenings and the end of social media reaction embargo, it's finally here, and let me tell you, the early reactions, they're flooding in, and they are glowing. Let's break down some of the most exciting ones. Ed Brian Long Films wrote, "James Gunn, you did it. You made me look up, and the gun did not jam. This felt like a comic leaping off the silver screen. Not sure how people doubted this for a second. Nicholas Hoult Lex is terrifying, yet so animated. Wow. Hashtag Superman." At Society's Joker posted, "This is everything any Superman fan could ask for. Dumb stupid grin on my face the entire time." David Corenswet not only makes you believe he's Superman, but devours as Clark Kent, and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, dude makes Kendrick Lamar look merciful. Run y'all. At Andre St. Alban said, "Hashtag Superman is a soaring triumph. The superhero epic wastes no time diving into action in a meta-human world. Corenswet's Superman is punk rock, and Holt's Lex is his electric opposite. Gunn's vibrant palette dazzles with orbs, robots and monsters. Engineer, Ultraman, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, and Guy steal scenes. This movie redefines Superman. Catch it in IMAX or the biggest screen you can." That's 3 for 3, and they're calling it a must-watch. But wait, it gets better. At Jeremy Casiva wrote, "James Gunn absolutely nailed it with hashtag Superman. From the music and VFX to the camera work and humor, he crafted the ideal light-hearted, kid-friendly family film for the summer. Every character had standout moments, especially Crypto." At Eric Waffles added, "Absolutely in love with the characterizations crafted for the DCU. These are the most accurate versions in live action to date. Rachel, David and Nicholas are perfectly cast. Only nitpick, some early scene transitions could have flowed a little smoother. But overall, it's a really fun movie. Everyone in my theater, all ages, was loving it. Sing it again tomorrow." At Supercell0320 posted, "Gunn has done something I thought only animation could do. He didn't just make us believe a man could fly. He made us believe someone could deeply care about the preservation of life. All life. Holt is the best live action Lex to date. Unmissable experience." From critics to fans, from long-time DC followers to casual moviegoers, the praise just keeps rolling in. At Arclight PNW said, "Hashtag Superman. Okay, I loved it. Let's see how I feel after my IMAX viewing tomorrow. Sure, there are some misses, but way more hits. Fantastic characters. Couldn't have picked a better cast. A wonderful ride." At Roxy Stryer gushed, "I wish I could watch Superman on repeat for a week. They finally gave me the Lois Lane I've been begging for. The world needs this movie. We can all learn from Superman. I laughed, I cried. The DCU has arrived. Ed James Gunn crushed it." At Caboose EK added, "Hashtag Superman is the perfect comic book movie. Felt like I was reading a Superman issue and the panels jumped to life. Corenswet is everything Superman should be. I laughed, I cried, I looked up." And if you think it ends there, buckle up. There's a lot more where that came from. The Batman Film News wrote, "James Gunn delivers an all-timer with Superman. He fully embraces the fantastical elements. It really feels like a comic book come to life. Corenswet might be my favorite Superman already, but the real standout, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Phenomenal." At Drew Munhausen wrote, "Superman is not just the best Superman film. It's probably the best comic book movie of the post-COVID era. Fun, flashy, and well, super. Corenswet is a charismatic chatty soups. Excited for DC Studios under Gunn and Safran." At the Eric Goldman shared, "I loved Superman. Gunn embraces the earnest, occasionally cheesy side of comics in a way that reminded me of Raimi's Spider-Man. Corenswet and Brosnahan, amazing chemistry. Oh, and Crypto steals the show." Daniel Baptista from the Movie Podcast said, "Superman is a generation-defining superhero movie. Gunn brings heart, humility, and hope to a Superman film I've waited my whole life for. Corenswet is instantly iconic. the future of DC looks bright. Still with me? Because this wave of praise just keeps building. Tony Mosello called it an absolute blast, a 2-hour comic book come to life, packed with thrills, humor, heart, and vibrant visuals. It's campy fun in the best way. Corenswet and Hoult are stellar. The DC universe is here. Austin Putnam posted, "So happy to say Gunn's Superman exceeded expectations. Vibrant, funny, great cast, awesome score, fantastic storytelling, but most importantly, a movie full of awe, hope and wonder. Can't wait for round 2. Mike Ryan added, "Absolutely loved Gunn's Superman. Big themes, big fun. It genuinely put me in a good mood, which doesn't happen often. It's the happiest I've left a theater since Top Gun Maverick. #Superman." The Connor Webb wrote, "Wildly comic accurate, triumphant. Bold. Superman is the most Superman movie to ever Superman and I loved every second. I geeked out so many times. #lookup." Cinefied said, "Old Superman movies made you believe a man can fly. Gunn's Superman makes you believe despite all odds, a man can be good, a message we need now more than ever." The epic film guys concluded, "He did it. Gunn's Superman soars, light-hearted, action-packed and totally true to the comics. Corenswet is the Superman for a new generation. This is the one we've been waiting for." Here's the real deal. While it's amazing to hear so much positive buzz from fans and trusted critics alike, let's not forget how crucial it was for Superman to stick the landing. This wasn't just any reboot, this was the cornerstone of James Gunn's new DCU. The entire future of the cinematic universe is riding on this movie. If Superman stumbled out the gate, you can bet the doubters would have been out in full force, calling it proof that superhero movies are finally done for. But based on everything that we're hearing, that's not the case at all. And beyond just doing well at the box office, which I think it absolutely will, it needed to win over the fandom. Because if fans aren't on board with this version of Superman, it's hard to build excitement for what's next. You can't build a universe around Batman and Superman if one of them falls flat early on. So yeah, there was a lot riding on this movie. Not just in terms of performance, but in setting the tone, setting the bar, and building trust in this new era of the DCU. And you know what? It sounds like Gunn delivered. Because let's be honest, his track record speaks for itself. Guardians of the Galaxy turned no-name characters into fan favorites. Peacemaker was a hit, and now with Superman, there was never really a reason to doubt him. Gunn just gets it. He knows how to write stories that matter, stories that resonate. It's not about flashy powers, it's about connecting with the character. If we understand their motivation, their struggle and their heart, we care. And when we care, the story works. But hey, now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you hyped for Superman now? Do these reactions change how you feel? Or were you already on board from the start? I want to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like the video if it helped. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.